Gorm to you all. Good morning, Gorm. Good morn. How's it going? Hello. I hope you all have been well. I hope everything is going good. I am trying to make up for the fact that I'm sleepy, but will not let that get us down. Because we're here to build God! Oh wait, I forgot to post this on my... Post the link. Oops. It's okay, it's okay. Come back from this. Come back. Meantime, if there's anyone out there, let me know what's going on with you, what you're up to, how your is going while I post the link on Twitter. School's happening again? Oh my god, yeah. Good luck to the students. It's all the class I have to retake save for one. Yeah. Yeah. I feel you. It is hell out there. It's hell out there. It's so crazy that I'm like not in school now. That should be done. Yeah, congrats. Let's go. Excellent. Good luck. You got this. Yeah. But yeah. God Gundam. I saw something on my hand and I was like, am I bleeding? Am I dying? No, it's just a piece of red plastic. We're good. We're good. I'm done. I'm not done. I'm not dying. But yeah. As of last week, we've built his arms and we've almost built his legs. We've almost built his legs. I would have finished his legs last week, but I had to cut it a bit early as I had to go do stuff with my family. God, I didn't mean to sound so disappointed when talking about my family. I love my family. They're pretty but sometimes it's exhausting. It's more just like I feel like it's like I had to go to a family party. And I think it has more to do with like me being more introverted and I just like don't like dealing with a bunch of people that I don't really know. I say it's a family party, but it's a family party in the sense that like yeah, there's my family members there, but also like a bunch of family friends and just people that I don't know, and it's a party. And I was like, oh, I'm dying. I'm going to die. It's over for me. Did I do that? I did. I put on F8. And I attached the little heel bit. And I attached this guy. Is the F runner? Yes, it is. Excellent. Excellent. But yeah. Oh, this is the wrong F runner. I've just been in my, you know, I had to go to that family party and I was mentally, physically, emotionally exhausted. And it's a lot. It's a lot. South Asian people are very intense. South Asian people are very intense. Intense in the sense of how judgmental they tend to be. Like, it's crazy. Again, I don't condone racism, so we'll never do that, but I feel like I personally am allowed to trash talk South Asian culture a little bit. It's not really culture, it's more just like these specific people, but it's also a little bit of like a cultural thing of just like it's I think I've heard similar ideas of this and how this is kind of like prevalent for a lot of like immigrant, like foreign slash like especially Asian culture and household. What's my computer doing? We're good, we're good. I thought my computer was doing something that I don't want it to do. We're good. And it's just like, it's so judgmental. Brother, I was eating a granola bar, okay? Because I didn't have time to eat in the morning. And I was like, I packed a little protein bar for myself. I'm just gonna eat it now because I'm hungry. And I felt judged for just trying to eat my little granola bar. And I was like, get me out of here. Please, let me escape. It was a time. It was a time, but I've since escaped. I'm no longer there. I'm now back in my own home. I'm now back in my own home, living my best life. I dropped a piece, but I found it because it's white and it's easy to. Yeah. I am hoping to finish this Gundam. I mean, we're still pretty early in this, not pretty early, but like, I'm hoping to finish this in the next couple weeks. Finish good old God Gundam in the next couple weeks, and then I've already planned what kit I want to do after this. Because I like to space out like big builds with small builds, or at least like less intensive builds, because this one's like a funky, like this was a Gundam of Gundam. This is like a Gundam of all time. This is like classic, older master grade, like kind of build intensive, but like fun, but in a fun way, And I like to punctuate, and I got my hands on a couple of the Mechatro kits, the MechatroWeGo Evangelion collab kits, and I'm very excited. I'm very excited to build them, and I think I'll be building Shinji after I'm done with God Gundam. I'm very excited. I don't know if anyone here is familiar with like the MechatroWeGo lab kits, but one, the art for them is done by the same person who draws Nichijou. So it's all like Nichijou art style, and it's really fun, and they're really cute, and they're these little like bean-shaped robots. And you have the little characters, especially like the ones that I have are specifically the Evangelion collabs. I have Shinji and I have Rei. I'll probably do Shinji first. Oh, there's supposed to be a sticker there that I didn't put on the other one. So, I mean, I could probably still include it. Or I can just get it on there. But I'm very excited. Actually, I can show you the I can show off the Mechatro kit right now. It's like within arm's reach of me, because the pile is getting very out of control. But it's this guy, the like Mechatro Evangelion. Like it looks. Look at this little bean robot, and look at Shinji in there with. I should refocus so that you actually see what the hell's happening. What? There we. Oh. I like to make. Okay, let's move the light a little bit. Maybe. No. There we go. Look at this little bean robot. I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to building this thing. I've been trying to get my hands. Oh yeah, here's some of the other ones. I've been trying to get my hands on these like Mechatro Evangelion collab kits for like a little while now, because I think the Mechatro kits are so freaking cute. Looks like the robot from Concord. I think these like Mechatro kits are so freaking cute. And then I found that they collabed with Evangelion, and I was like, oh my god. Because I think I first saw one of these kits when I was like at, what the heck else does that remind me of? Baymax? Yeah. It's got a little bit of that like bubbly kind of Baymax design. It's got a little bit of that like bubbly Baymax design. Though honestly, I think I'm not entirely sure if the Mechatro line like predates Baymax, because I think that's possible that the Mechatro line itself. I don't think the Evangelion collab does not predate Baymax, but the Mechatro, these Mechatro like model kits have been around for a while. I'm not entirely sure if it predates like Baymax, so who knows. But they're pretty neat. I've been liking them for a while, but I just like have not I don't see them around very often. I mostly just see them online, and it's just like, do I want to like pay all that for like a plus, like usually it's shipping from Japan, so I'm like, because I just don't see them in a lot of US based shops, so I'm like, I don't want to deal with all of that just for like a kit that's actually like not that intensive. That doesn't seem very intensive, and it's just like going to be a quicker build. I'm like, do I really want to do all that? But the store over in Connecticut, where we've been able to get some of the newer, so Mechatro has been collabing. I guess they've been distributing more to the States, and they've been releasing a lot of their collabs. They did, obviously, well, they did a Nichijou collab, because the Mechatro art itself is done by the guy who draws Nichijou, so obviously they did a collab. So you can get like the actual Nichijou characters for like as like Mechatro kits, which is pretty neat. They have their little robots, and it really does fit the vibes of Nichijou. If you are familiar with the anime, I feel like I should have established that earlier, that Nichijou is an anime, and that maybe not everyone knows what Nichijou is. Nichijou is an anime. Well, it's also a manga, but it's really good. It's very funny. It's very cute. If you haven't watched it, I'd recommend it. It's not fitting the way I think it's supposed to. I feel like if I brute force it too much, it's gonna break. But yeah, it's pretty neat. But yeah, they're pretty neat. I like my little Mechatro kits, and then we found out that I found out actually that they did a collab with Evangelion. I was just like walking around my local like I was just walking around like my local model kit like hobby store, and they had the Evangelion cloaks. I think it came out like not that long ago, and I was like, oh my god, losing my mind, because I think the Mechatro kits are really cute. And then I found out they collabed with Evangelion, which I love Evangelion, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm dying. It's over for me and my wallet, but also at the same time, I'm like, they're quite expensive for what you get. And I was like, oh, even in like a US based store. So I was like, oh, it's rough. But luckily, we were able to get the Mechatro kits at our store in Connecticut, which, if you're local to Connecticut and you're interested, we still have some of the Mechatro kits. If you are interested, we should still have some of them, because they're very cute and I like them. You know what? I will add the sticker to this guy. And if it's ugly, I'll take it off. That's kind of my rule of thumb when it comes to stickers. I usually don't use the stickers, but for whatever reason, this kit doesn't have decals, it only has stickers. Which I guess is what it is for like older master grades. What I get for building an older master grade. I really should get better, different like nippers. But anyhow, let's see, which sticker are we supposed to put on here? Oh, it's not from this sheet. There's another sticker sheet that I supposedly have. But I'm not entirely sure. There it is. Did I dump it in? Very possible that I dumped it in there. No, that's Hino's stickers. Those are Xeon's dry rubs. Yeah, these are Goof. They're also... Oh, these are Astray decals. I really should organize these a lot better, my like decals. Because I have a lot of them that I just keep that I don't get rid of. To those... Oh yeah, you heard what happened to those anime pirating sites? I did. As someone that doesn't watch a lot of stuff legally, that doesn't really like paying for streaming services. Oh yeah, and I got Evangelion decals as water slides. Because I was like, I still have to do these, by the way. As you can see by the, like, I haven't even opened it. From my RG Unit 01, the decals are all stickers and they're ugly and I hate them. So I literally bought them as water slides. The same decals, I bought them as water slides so I could like make them look nicer, and I still haven't put them together. Same with Big War Bows decals, actually. I bought them as slides. I like Big Bow, but the decals are stickers and thus ugly. Yeah, but yeah, a lot of anime streaming sites got nuked. Rest in peace. And it's kind of rough. I'm not that surprised because it's not like the first time that like illegal streaming websites have gotten nuked. It just is what happens. Like that's what happened to me. I'm a big fan of I don't know if I'm allowed to like talk about this. I don't know if I'm allowed to like talk about this. But if I'm not, I guess Heather will yell at me. And that will be a consequence for me of the later. I'm a big fan of Tachiyomi, which is a reading app. It's for like reading manga and webtoons and stuff. I love like novels and things too. Like Tachiyomi is insane. And Tachiyomi got super nuked like a little while ago, and I was so upset. I was so sad because Tachiyomi is like my primary reader. And I was very sad about it. But then Tachiyomi came back. And then it just came back. Like, a lot of these sites, they get nuked, but then inevitably they will rise again. Like, there will always be another one to fill the gap. Like, even the one of the bigger ones that got nuked now, is Anywave. And even Anywave itself is the spiritual successor to a different website that got nuked a while back. And it's just like, well, it is simply the never-ending cycle, okay? I'm old enough that I used to watch anime in 3 parts on YouTube. Like, you know, we shall prevail is the general consensus. Is the general consensus. And so, I don't know, it sucks. It's kind of annoying that it's like, but also, you can't be that surprised. Because it's not like this is legal. It's not like any of this is legal. But also, I'm like, just like on principle, again, I feel a little bad talking about like illegal streaming and whatnot, because I'm like, yeah, I like to support the creators, and I think like people that, again, that work on anime and stuff, like, don't get paid well. But also at the same time, I'm like, it's not like my Crunchyroll subscription pays their bills. I feel like that has got like something, of course it's better to watch things legally than illegally, but just like on principle, I don't like paying for digital content. My exception is games because I'm lazy. But for the most part, I don't like paying for digital content, including like streaming and stuff. I still like use streaming services. Like obviously I am a person. I'm on my parents' Netflix account. I'm like, I pay for stuff like Spotify, like I pay for YouTube Premium. Like I'm not like a stranger to streaming services, but I'm also like, kind of like conceptually, I'm not the biggest fan of streaming services and stuff like that, and like paying for digital content, especially when it comes to stuff like Crunchyroll and like anime is like the anime like licensing scene in the West is like especially volatile. Like it's terrible, especially like I know we've already talked about this at length, like the Crunchyroll merger and everything. Like even just talking about like the Gundam anime itself, if you want to watch the Gundam anime legally, like it's so fractured and divided, it's insane. Even when it comes to like the physical releases too, because someday I do want to collect some of the at least the Gundam series that I really love. Like I want to collect them physically. See, like I am more than happy to like pay for things. It's not like I fundamentally am against giving money to like entities. Like if I like something, I want to support the people who made it. And so I love buying things physically because it's like mine and I own a copy of this thing and I just get to have it forever now, which is pretty neat. And that's usually the goal when you make a purchase. But you don't always, at least in like the current landscape of things, you don't necessarily get that, especially when you pay for like streaming services. because at any given point they can just decide that your favorite anime, that they don't want to pay for the licensing on your favorite anime anymore, and it's just lost to the ether now. Like a case that I always think about is like original Mobile Suit Gundam, which has been like hot potato. Honestly, I don't even know who legally has the rights to like OG Mobile Suit Gundam at this point. I kind of want to Google it and like find out, because I wonder, because I know it's not like Crunchyroll. I don't think they have the rights to like OG Mobile Suit Gundam. So I know Funimation, not Funimation. I think it might have been Sentai. It might, no, I don't think it was Sentai, but it was like the newer Gundam series have a different publisher than the older ones did, because the older ones have always been Sunrise. I mean, of course, they're still animated by Sunrise. They're all still animated by Sunrise. But Sunrise doesn't do like distribution anymore. And so a lot of those older Gundam DVDs were originally like printed and distributed by Sunrise themselves. But the more recent ones are not. They're no longer like printed and distributed by Sunrise. It's a different company. I want to say it was Funimation, but I might be wrong. But again, that's kind of the problem with a little bit of the Western anime distribution, is that there was like exactly 3 distributors, and now there's 2 distributors because one of them was bought by the other, and it's like, ooh, that's rough. Mobile Suit Gundam. Where can I watch? Oh, it is Crunchyroll. Okay. So I guess it is Crunchyroll. So I can watch, and also Amazon Prime Video, apparently. Amazon Prime Video. But, that's kind of crazy. Zeta Gundam is not on it's on Crunchyroll, but not on Amazon Prime. If you want to watch Zeta Gundam, like, let's say I want to watch War in the Pocket, die, I guess. Like, a lot of that, like, that's not on Crunchyroll, which is kind of crazy. Wonder where Wing is. Wonder where Gundam Wing is. Mobile Suit Gundam Wing. Hulu. It's on Hulu? Like, that's exactly what I'm talking about, where it's like kind of insane how licensing works, even just for like a series like Gundam, right? Like, there's no centralized place to watch all of them. If I wanted to watch Gundam, like, legally, I'd have to have a Crunchyroll subscription, an Amazon Prime subscription, and a Hulu subscription, and that's just looking up like 3 entities. That's just like Mobile Suit, Zeta Gundam, War in the Pocket, which is like a movie, and Gundam Wing. Like, those are already 3 separate entities. Not to mention, like, I'm pretty sure Witch from Mercury and the newer ones are entirely, like, have an entirely different distribution thing. Gundam, Witch from Mercury. Okay, so that one is also Crunchyroll, but it's still like insane. Then I look at Iron Blooded Orphans, and it's on Hulu, and it's like, what? What's going on there? And then if I want to watch Build Fighters, it's nowhere. It's not on. Wow, that's kind of crazy. That it's just like like if you want to watch it legally, don't. Gundam Age, you can't watch that legally. It's like so crazy. So crazy. How... Yeah, I wonder where Gundam the Origin is. Also Gundam Origin. Wow. If I want to... Okay, wait. Is it on Crunchyroll? Okay, Gundam the Origin. At least the first part of Gundam the Origin is on Crunchyroll, but they don't have the movies, which is insane. Anyway, that's like, I feel like my point has come across. I don't have to go through every single individual Gundam series for my point to come across. But, yeah, fundamentally, I've never been a fan of streaming services and, like, digital media in general, because at first, it was pretty neat and handy, where it's like, oh wow, I don't need to have a DVD player. I can just open this on my computer, or I can just have this on my phone, or have this on a tablet, and like live my best life. But these days, like, because of corporate greed, and the proliferation of streaming services, and how it's not just like 1 or 2 anymore, it's like literally dozens at this point. Like, if I want to watch Gundam legally, I have to sub to like 3 different streaming services just to watch it legally, and I'm like, ooh. That's why I want to own them like physically on DVD. But again, even kind of the problem with that is that it's several, like all the older Gundam series that were originally distributed by Sunrise are all out of print. So if I want to buy them, I'd have to buy them on the secondhand market where it is expensive. Where it's expensive. But I will not give up on my dream though of owning at least like Mobile Suit Gundam and Zeta Gundam physically. Honestly, maybe Wing too. I like Wing. You know what? And I want to own G Gundam physically. I love G Gundam. I would also want a DVD. Wow, speaking of God Gundam, I should probably have mentioned that one first, considering I'm literally building God Gundam. I probably should have mentioned G Gundam first. But, that's fine. That's fine. G Gundam is another one I would love to own physically. I've always thought it'd be neat if Sunrise came up with Gundam anime that just set in place in a colony where you'd have 2 love interests, one regular person and the other one is a new type. Well, Sunrise does do non-Gundam. I will say Sunrise does do non-Gundam. That's where, like, I believe Kyokai Senki is one. Kyokai Senki was pretty okay, but that one is Sunrise and it's not Gundam, but it's not but it's not the rom-com you're dreaming of right now, unfortunately. I honestly think that there's a lot of potential in that. I think if they branched out a bit more, I just realized that's half of what Komi-san is. Yeah. That's pretty funny. Yeah, they should just make Komi-san, but like with new types. They should just make Komi-san, but with new types. I think that would be pretty neat. I think that would be a fun anime. You see, I feel like, well, I'm trying to think of like, because Gundam has had romance arcs. Listen, I watched Gundam Wing. If that's not a romance, if that's not a romance arc, I don't know what is. Gundam has had like romantic arcs before, but I don't think that like they've done like genre shifts. Like obviously the G Gundam is kind of like one of the biggest genre shifts I can think of for Gundam. Obviously, and stuff like Build Fighters, like for a younger audience and whatnot, which I think are pretty neat. But Gundam has never done like a true just having it be like a completely played straight romance anime. I think they could do it. I don't mean like another sort of mecha anime. I mean an anime set in the Gundam world, but with yeah, like with War in the Pocket. War in the Pocket is pretty neat. And I think it would be really neat if they just went full like cute romance. And it's just like, yep, that's it. Like that's the plot. Which I think would be hilarious, personally. And I think they could make it work. I honestly think that they could make it work. A2. There it is. And so, I think that's like one of the genres that they haven't tried yet. It's just like tried and true, just drama, romance, just get it. I mean, they do have a lot of drama. Gundam has had a lot of drama. Gundam has had a lot of like romantic plot lines, but I really think they could kill it if they just made like a straight like romance, no like played completely seriously. Like one of the things I love about G Gundam is that it's played completely straight. It's not like a ahaha kind of Gundam flavor. It is Gundam flavored, but it's like they commit to the tournament arc like shonen. Like they really commit to like shonen tournament arc, which I love about G Gundam. And I think it'd be pretty neat if they did something similar, but like instead of shonen, it's shoujo. Just like give us, I want like a pure, I mean again, we had Gundam Wing, which is like very character based, very character driven, and I like that. I like the character drama, but I think we could go further. Just this doesn't even really have the robots in it. Just completely straight, except it's still set in the setting of Gundam. It's still in the same setting. I think there is a whole sheet of decals that I lost. I think that's what happened, is I just lost them. I think there's, because I have these decals that are here, but I think they keep referencing another type of decal that I don't know where it is. I think it's just lost. I think I just lost it at some point or another. Like, it has been lost to the ether. There's also this guy. There's like, I have exactly this thing. I have whatever the, well, this little jewel. I know where the jewel goes. I know where it goes later, but I'm not using it yet. I have that. God, I also have this. I also have this runner, which is necessary. This one is A29. Oh, I'm supposed to attach that. Monkey. Okay. So I think I'm supposed to. This is pretty interesting. I've never seen like a V-fin come together like this. I've never seen a V-fin come together. I'm also thinking about painting this one. I'm also thinking about whether or not I want to paint any parts of God Gundam, because honestly, I kind of just I wouldn't want to. When I say painting, I don't mean like recolor painting, because I love the design of God Gundam. I love like just the base design. Like I wouldn't. There's like little bits that I gotta chop off of here, and it gives me a lot of anxiety because these are already very thin little. I'm gonna zoom in so it's like slightly more visible what the hell I'm doing. But like there's these little bits that are attached here that I have to snip off very carefully without like breaking the whole little V-fin. These are very thin, and I am anxious. Master Grade V-fin have flags? Yeah, they're no. I'm supposed to like cut off the little flags. I meant to cut them off, but it's a bit nerve-wracking because they're very thin, and I have to snip off the little flags and the little like nub connections, little nub marks, and all of that. And I'm like, I feel like I'm doing surgery almost. It almost feels like I'm doing surgery on this little. Oh, and this is a softer plastic too, and so I'm like, if this breaks, it's literally over for me. If this breaks, actually, wait, I think this might be the spare. Wait, no, is this the same piece? Is this the same piece? I think this is just the same piece. I think this is literally like in case I break it. This might actually be in case I break it. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna try and see if what the deal is with that other bit. Because I'm like... okay, this is in Japanese, so I will... I'm going to Google Translate this. I'm going to have to bring out my good friend Google Translate. Just super glue... it breaks. I mean, I do have plastic glue. Like, I could just glue it back together. I don't know if I, like, want to do that. Because, again, this is a lot... This is a very high precision operation that we're looking at here. Oh, choose one to attach. Okay, choose. So it's one or the other. Oh, okay. So then I am kind of right that like H1 is like this other one is like separate. But this is like a different plastic. This is more rigid and this is a much softer plastic, which I think is kind of fascinating. That's like I can either choose the more rigid one or I can choose the like softer plastic one. They're the two. They don't actually look all that different, but this one is slightly more matte because it's a softer plastic. Well, this is more rigid, so it's a bit shinier. So I think I'll go with this, but I don't think I'll be... Well, I'm thinking if I want to like paint anything on this. By painting, I mean, as I mentioned before, I don't want to change the design, but like I might do a bit of detail painting where I might just like zoom enhance some of the gold bits. I love repainting gold accents. I love painting gold accents. It's like one of my favorite things is to just paint gold accents because it adds, like, truly it adds so much. So when there's like something that's supposed to be like a gold decal and then instead of having the decal you just use like gold paint, it just like does so much for the kit. It's one of my favorite little like detail things to do. Most of what I'd be doing with this guy would be detail painting. Honestly, I'm not even entirely sure if I have much to panel line on this thing either, because there's a lot of like segmentation to begin with. I think I'll do a little bit of panel lining on it, but we'll find out as we build the torso. But I'm also like, do I want to do any accent painting on this guy? Speaking of painting, the store back in Connecticut has recently started stocking the like Iwata airbrush kits, like the really nice like Iwata airbrush kits, and there's a good chance I will be purchasing. There's a good chance I'll be purchasing because I've been wanting to get a better airbrush for a while. Like, not to say that my current airbrush isn't bad. This is also just one that I got from the store. It's a pretty basic airbrush. It doesn't have like a set. Well, it has like a compressor, but it's not like an insane air compressor, and there's not a lot of like customizability to it. Like, I can't really fine tune the air pressure and stuff like that. It kind of just is like you get what you get, but it's pretty good. I still quite like it. I still quite enjoy my like current airbrush. Like, it's not bad. I'm not gonna say it's bad, but now that I have the opportunity, like, I've been doing custom stuff for long enough that I feel like I kind of like want to upgrade. I want to have more precision. I want to like, now that I feel like I've gotten a better hang of like airbrushing and whatnot, like I want kind of upgrade my setup a little bit. And so if you're interested and you're local to Connecticut, we have the like Iwata, like the really nice Iwata airbrush stuff, like airbrush kits. And there's a good chance that I will be buying one next time I'm back in Connecticut. And so if you'd rather just wait and watch me test it out, I will also be doing that. Obviously, I'll be painting stuff when I get it. I will be like trying it out on stream because that's like, I'm very excited. Whenever there's like a funky like model kit thing that I get recently, I'm like, I can't wait to do this on stream. I'm like, I can't wait to do this. That's kind of how I felt about the Mechatro kits, where I was like, oh my god, I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to do this later. And so I'm very excited if I do end up getting one of the Iwata kits, which honestly, there's a good chance that I will. I would say it's kind of a guarantee. It's more of a matter. It's more a matter of when than if. Like, I've been wanting one for a while, and now I have an easier way of obtaining one. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's a sign, because I have been thinking about this for a little while. But honestly, maybe I'm so terrible. I still have several like works in progress. I like don't have a lot of finished stuff because I'll start painting something and then I'll like either lose focus or I'll like start working on something else, or I'll just like lose track of what I'm doing, or I like lose my vision for something, and then it's over for me. And it lives in a box. Like, my pile TM, my pile, as everyone, anyone who like are familiar with model kits are probably familiar with the concept of the pile TM. My pile TM is like kind of insane crazy. Like, it's getting to the point where I'm like, I have a friend of mine who's visiting at the moment, who's visiting me at the moment, and we're having a good time, and they wanted to be nice and get me a gift, like a home welcoming gift or whatever, because I think this is the first time they've been to my apartment. And they got me a Gundam, and because they know that I like Gundam. I was like, oh my god, and it's a really nice kit. But I looked at like where I can fit this on, because I have my little corner of my hobby room that's like, this is the pile TM, and I'm like, oh my god, I don't know where I'm gonna put this thing. But like, I would say a quarter of the boxes in the pile are like half finished things, are like half finished, or like all like some. Honestly, I really should just spend a day and like knock these out, because a good chunk of these are like 90% finished. I just need to like get in gear and just do it, because I am terrible and I need to just do things. I really just need to get in there and I just have to do it. And that will definitely clear up a good bit of space in my pile area, in my little, like, box corner. I have, like, because it's not even, like, the boxes where I keep my finished, like, the boxes for finished stuff, I keep in a separate place. Start a company and outsource your pile TM to Thailand. Yeah. Outsourcing jobs to Asia is maybe my next move. Maybe the next move for me. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, by the way. I mean, I guess technically I would be, because a lot of jobs do get outsourced to India, and technically I am South Asian, and so I'm like, wait, would that mean I'm the one that the jobs are getting outsourced to? Is like my pile getting outsourced to me? But then I'm like, wait a second. Oh my god. I'm sorry. This might be kind of TMI. Well, it's not TMI, but like I just snipped. I try and catch my little like snippings and put them separately, but that one just like flew directly into my mouth. And I was like, what the heck is happening? I don't swallow plastic. I do not want to swallow plastic right now. But that's where we're at. What? Now I'm like paranoid that if I'm not like extra careful, these little plastic bits are gonna fly off and fly into my mouth. That one, I didn't swallow it. I caught it. I caught it. But now I'm like paranoid. Now I'm like, what if I swallow plastic? What if I die? I mean, I feel like I already consume enough. Like, I'm a person, I already have a steady diet of microplastics. I don't need to add macroplastics to my microplastics diet. I think I'm pretty good as an average person in a first world country that already consumes a steady diet of microplastics. And that still kind of terrifies me a little bit. The whole concept. Again, I'm not like a tinfoil hat type of guy. I'm not a tinfoil hat type of guy. I promise you, I'm not. I'm not like in the 5Gs are gonna kill us all. You know, the other day, I'm sorry, pivoting once again. The other day, I was driving, and I was stuck behind a car that was going like 30 miles per hour in a zone where the speed limit is 45. I was like on a road where the speed limit is 45 miles per hour, and this person is driving 30 miles per hour, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And they had it was like a beat up, not a beat up, like it was like not that old, but it was like, I'd say it's probably like a 10-year-old car, like a mid, it was like an early to mid 2010s kind of a car. And it had a bumper sticker that was just like, I was stuck behind this car and I was close enough to, I wasn't, again, I don't like tailgating people. I like to leave a healthy distance, even if they are driving slow. I leave like a healthy distance. But I was still like close enough that I could read this person's bumper sticker, and it was like a paragraph of a bumper sticker, and I was stuck behind them for long enough that I basically just ended up reading their whole bumper sticker. And it was this whole thing about like 5G and how it's like going to destroy society. I was like, it was like the kind of thing where I was like, at first I was like, oh, is this like a joke thing? Because, you know, I have a bumper sticker, not to dox myself. I have a bumper sticker on my car that says, I have no bedtime and I fear no God. That's the one sticker I have on my car. I have a sticker that says, I have no bedtime and I fear no God. Please do not, don't stalk me. And I love, I love my I have no bedtime and I fear no God sticker. But that one's obviously like, I'm not serious about it. Like, it's, I feel like pretty clearly a joke. But at first I was like, is the like 5G thing like a joke? But then I kept reading it and it got into like the government and like conspiracies, I was like, I don't even fully remember it. It was like 5G is getting into our bloodstream and something about like the COVID-19 virus, and I was like, oh my god, this is just a crazy person. You would think that the kind of person would drive faster to run away from 5G. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And it was a 1-lane road too, so it's not like I could go around them. I was kind of just stuck. And I had enough time to read their entire like 5G bumper sticker, and I was like, what the hell is happening? I promise you, I'm not that kind of person. I'm not like, I don't think 5G is going to get us all. But I feel like one of my like pet conspiracy theories is, you know how like in the 70s everyone kind of discovered, well, not discovered, like companies and scientists have known for a while that lead is very dangerous to people. Like, lead is not safe to keep near people. But it was cheap and it was a good like material for a lot of things, and so companies would use it anyway. Would just put lead in everything anyway. And sometime during the 70s, again, this is like a hard fought effort between a lot of like dedicated scientists and lawyers that like worked really hard to make this public, that like, hey guys, you know, lead, that thing that's in like everything, it's actually really bad for you and slowly killing everyone. Like that's a real thing that happened, that like for like decades lead would just like be in a lot of products because it was cheap and like an easy material to use. And so it would be in everything from like paint to wallpaper to like dishware to like food I think I want to say like even food preservatives and stuff too like would have lead in it, which is like, that's why I believe, like, again, I might just be making this up, but this is just like my conjecture based off like something that I feel like I've read before. Whereas like the reason why like pencil lead is called pencil lead is because I feel like at one point or another it actually used to be lead, be made out of lead, which is like insane because now with our modern knowledge, it's like, yeah, lead is really bad and causes a lot of diseases actually, and has really terrible like long-term effects on people. And to this day, one of my pet conspiracy theories, okay? Don't take me seriously because I'm literally just a guy on the internet, okay? That's my disclaimer for right now. I'm literally like just some guy on the internet, so don't take me too seriously. But my pet conspiracy theory is that like the reason why there is like the haha like boomers are like have the reason why boomers are like that a little bit is because of lead poisoning. Is because of like long-term lead exposure, because baby boomers and like that era of people who like were born in the 40s and 50s spent like their entire early life exposed to lead. And one of the side effects of long-term lead exposure is like anger issues. Like genuinely, that is like a known side effect of lead exposure, of lead poisoning. And I think part of the reason why boomers are the way that they are and how they just like blow up on things for no reason, I think part of it, again, I don't think it's the only thing. I think definitely is like just people and their personalities. People with terrible personalities, and like the entitlement of their upbringing, but also like I don't think lead is the only reason, but I don't think it's not a reason is what I think. Is that I feel like lead exposure genuinely contributes to why boomer epidemic is the way that it is, because they like have been eating lead since they were babies. And then suddenly in the 70s, like they stopped putting lead in everything. But that still is like a good chunk of time that they spent like eating lead, which is not good. Um, and again, because this is like such recent history, even like people just don't entirely know all the long-term effects with like lead poisoning and whatnot. Like we kind of do, which is how like we stopped putting lead in everything because people were like, "Hey guys, you know the thing lead? Like people have been dying from it. That's not good." Um, and my other pet conspiracy theory is that that's like there's 100% like something like that in our generation. There's like 100% like some material, whether it's like a type of microplastic or like PFAs or like something that we're going to find out in 20 years that actually this is causes cancer and that we're all slowly dying. Like I don't think it's that. I'm being dramatic. I'm being facetious, okay? I'm being dramatic for the sake of being dramatic. But I do think there is like a grain of truth to it, that I feel like there already probably is something that's like slowly killing us, that we know that like at least scientists like and like manufacturers like know is probably slowly killing us, but like we kind of just use it anyway. um I don't know, I just feel like it's very much a thing that's happened before and I feel like would happen again is my consensus. Anyway, that's enough for like my conspiracy. Anyway, look at his head. Look at his little head. God Gundam, I love God Gundam. The double V fin goes so hard. The double V fin is sick. I'm very happy. Really cool. Now we get to build his body. Which hopefully, I think I'll probably be done with God Gundam. I don't think I'll finish him this week, but I will probably finish him next week. Not actually like that much left. There's like literally one page of the manual left, and I'm like, well, wow. I guess that's it. But we're nearing the close when it comes to God Gundam. So I will probably be hopefully I think we'll be finishing him either most likely next week is what I will ballpark. Next week we'll still be doing God Gundam. I'm talking like I'm finishing stream. I'm not finishing stream. I might cut a little early, but not that early, just because I'm kind of just like I'm kind of just tired. I'm kind of just tired. I know I'm a terrible streamer. I'm a little lazy, and I'm like, I don't know if I feel like doing this this whole time. Not that I don't feel like I like streaming, and I don't plan on quitting. I don't feel like existing. Plus, I have plans for later. Plus, I have a friend who's visiting me right now, and I kind of just like abandoned them a little bit. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go do my stream, bye. Luckily, I think they're entertaining themselves, but I still feel a little bad about it. Because sometimes I'll have like friends or someone like visiting me. Because like I have like a guest room in my apartment. I love when people visit me. I love when people visit me. When my friends are here. I love hanging out with my friends, but I also feel bad sometimes because I stream and it'll happen where they're just like in my house and I have to be like, I'm sorry, I have to stream now. Just go hang out over there for a little while. Bye. And I don't mind. I don't mind. I mean, I don't mind. Of course I don't mind. I'm the one streaming. But like usually my friends have been very good sports about it. My friends have been very good sports about it, but I still feel bad about it when I do it. I still feel bad when I do it though, where I'm like, I'm sorry, I just have to abandon you for a while I go build my Gundam. At my contractual Gundam time. I still have fun. And yeah. And I'm just like, oh my god, I feel like I've been talking so much. I've been talking a lot. Like, more than I usually would. Because, okay. I used to work like a customer service job, but then I stopped, and I've been working, like, I've been a mechanical engineer for like a little bit now. And that's a job where I like rarely have to talk to people. I like don't actually have to talk to people that often for my job. Like every once in a while, like if I've got to like update someone on a project or someone asks me to do something, but like I would say for like 80 to 90% of my day, like I do not involve me speaking to people. Like I sit there on my computer doing my tasks. Is what most of my day consists of. And so I don't like have to talk to people. And then also I live alone. So I especially don't have to talk to people. And so I feel like, and so that's part of, like, of course I have friends. I promise I have friends that I hang out with occasionally. But that's still like a thing that happens maybe like once a week. Maybe I'll hang out with my friends or something. And I feel like I'm giving out too much personal information, but it's too late to stop now. I've already started this anecdote. And so I just like... So on my day-to-day, I like don't talk. But last weekend, I had to go family party. I spent back-to-back 2 days in a row. I had family parties. I have friends. Yeah. Source. Hey! I like to think that whoever's watching me is my friend. Your reviewed article. I like to think that you guys, I mean, you're my friend. I hope so. I like to think you are. I like to think that we're friends. But also just in general, like, I consider like chat my friends. Okay, I promise. Does that make me sound lame? Does that make me sound kind of lame? I think it does. But I've already said it, and so I can't really back out of it at this point. But like, I don't know, man. You guys can be my friends. But I promise I have other friends that I see in my real life sometimes. And so so like, I don't know, man, I just spend most of my life like not talking. We're here for you. Thank you. But I love my friends. I love all of my friends. And yeah, I just like I don't actually talk like out loud that often. And then last week I had to, usually my weekends, either sometimes I hang out with people, but honestly I like my weekends when I'm just in my home by myself. I love when I'm just in my home by myself, chilling, doing whatever I want, hanging out, watching my silly little K-dramas. I started a new K-drama recently, by the way. It's very fun. I would like to talk about it, but I'm going to put a pin in it for now, so I can finish my current thought. Yeah, a week ago, I had 2 days, technically 3 days, back to back of like family parties. And and like the other like South Asian people is that when we're having a party, that is a full day affair. It's not like, haha, I'm gonna show up for like a couple hours and then go. No. I had to get there at noon and I didn't leave until like 9 p.m. I didn't leave until like 9 p.m. And I'm like, oh, please. Let me free. And it was just like hours of socializing. Continuous socializing and talking to people, and I'm like, oh, like my voice is tired. And then, sweet. I have a friend who's visiting, and so obviously I talk to my friend who's visiting. Not that I dislike it, but I just feel like I'm talking so much that my voice is tired. My voice is tired. I've not been having that many, like, opportunities to like rest. Yeah, they might tell you just it never is. Never is. That's just the experience with like, oh wait, I also need A4. Kind of an idiot. Told me I need that piece and I just can't read. It's like, what if I don't cut out this piece that it clearly tells me that I need to cut out? Yeah, they always say, don't worry, it's just gonna be a few hours. And then they're like, yep. My mom's like, yeah, we're leaving now. And I'm like, okay. And then I get up because she said we're leaving soon. And then she starts talking to someone. And then suddenly it's an hour and a half later. And we're like, why haven't I left yet? Like, why haven't we left yet? My mom's like, oh yeah, just give me a minute. Proceeds to talk to someone for like another 20-30 minutes. I'm like, ugh. I'm dying. And I think it's, you know, a little bit is one of those things where it's, you know, kind of nice actually that I've been experiencing this since I was a child, and I'm now well into my 20s, and I still have this exact same experience. I still have this exact same experience. It doesn't matter whether I'm 5 or 25. My mom says I'm like, I ask my mom, hey, are we leaving soon? And she's like, yeah, we're leaving soon. And I'm like, okay. And I start getting ready to leave. And then it's like an hour later. And I'm like, I thought we were going to leave soon. And she's like, oh yeah, don't worry. You have to say you're leaving for at least 3 times minimum before you're allowed to really leave. That's exactly what it feels like. Minimum, she says like, oh yeah, we're leaving like 3 times by the time we actually leave. And it's insane. I'm like, ugh. And I think it's like I feel a sense of connection to like me when I was a little kid. It's like a sense of connection to my younger self that I'm like, man, it is the exact same situation with the exact same feelings. Whether I'm a small child or if I am in my 20s, it's the same. And there's like a sense of comfort in that, but also I think this is also just me trying to cope in my brain of like, I had this experience that wasn't fun and I'm trying to like spin it in a positive way in my brain because I know it will happen again. That is just what mothers are like. It doesn't matter how old I am, I know it will continue to be like this. I know I will have this experience again. At some point in my life, this will happen again. This will keep happening throughout my life, and I will feel the exact same way no matter how old I am. And there's like a little bit, there's like a nice sentiment to that. But I think it is definitely a good bit of it is just me coping. It's just me coping. Of like, oh, there's truly no escape. There's truly no escape in this for me. I just have to live like this. God, it's so it's so, yeah, existing. I've also, man, the other thing that I've been doing lately is I started rereading Witch Hat Atelier. I've been rereading Witch Hat Atelier, so like from volume 1 because I bought the newest volume recently. I didn't even realize that a new volume had come out. Like, I've been off the train for Witch Hat like a little bit, but I've still been buying it, like, because I started reading it physically, and I'm going to keep reading it physically because it's beautiful and I love owning it, like having it in my hands and looking at it because the art is gorgeous and I want to support the creators. And so I'm like, okay. And I bought the newest volume, volume 12, not too long ago, because I was like, I didn't even realize that volume 12 had come out, and I saw it at like the local comic shop, and I was like, oh my god, so I bought it. And I went to go read volume 12, and I realized, I'm like, I don't fully remember what's even going on right now. And I was like, well, I want to like experience that, but also I was like, I love Witch Hat Atelier. I kind of just want to like, I don't know, I just had the desire to like just read it from scratch, like starting again. And also I realized that like Volume 1 came out like years ago. Because I got into Witch Hat when Volume 1 like came out, was released and was first licensed, and I just saw it randomly on a bookstore shelf and I bought it because I thought it would be good when Volume 1 came out. Like, I've been reading it from the very beginning, and I've just been reading it as like the physical English comes out, which is a little painful because I have to wait months between volumes, but like, it's what it is. But I realized like that it's been like at least 5 years since I've read, like, since I started reading Witch Hat. And I've just been reading it like one volume every few months for like ever since I started reading it. I was like, I've never like fully read through it like in a chunk. I've only ever read it like volume to volume because I read Volume 1 like when Volume 1 came out. And so I've just been reading it volume to volume this whole time. And I've never like read it in a solid chunk before. And I was like, I think I would like to try doing that. And also it's just been so long. I just really wanted to reread Witch Hat Atelier. And so I've been rereading Witch Hat Atelier. And it is just as good as I remember. Honestly, it's been very nice rereading it because there's certain things about it that I like forgot were themes in this story that I'm like rediscovering and re-remembering. And I think that's beautiful. And I love Witch Hat Atelier. It's still one of my favorite manga of all time. I like, okay, there's a thing that's happening soon and I don't want to talk about it. I want to gatekeep this a little bit. But I desperately want to talk about it. So Kodansha is going to be hosting some events in October in New York City. And these events include Q&As and signing events with different manga publishers, like manga authors that are under Kodansha, including Kamome Shirahama. And I'm like losing my mind. Shirahama Kamome is the mangaka of Witch Hat Atelier. I think they're also including the mangaka of Blue Period, which is another one that I really love. And I'm like dying a little bit. But the thing is, okay, it's limited space. It's not lottery. I thought this was gonna be lottery at first, but no. What they're doing is it's free. It's like an RSVP system. And so you kind of just have to like register in time. And I'm like, the registration opens next week. And I like have 15 reminders on it's literally like concert tickets. And and I'm like so paranoid because I have terrible luck with concert tickets. It's so bad. Like almost every time there's a concert I want to go to, I'm like, okay, I got this. I'm gonna get in there and we're gonna get tickets and it's gonna be great. I never win. It's what happened with Twice. I wanted to go see Twice like last year because they were touring the States. I think it's also my problem a little bit that I live in New York. And I feel like it just especially sucks for New York if you live in New York because there's so many people. And even for like big concerts, like I'm pretty sure Twice was at Madison Square Garden. Like that's a massive arena. I was like, okay, and I still didn't get in. I still didn't manage to get Twice tickets because also part of it is they had like a whole pre-registration system that was like kind of like confusing, and I think I like missed a deadline for something. I don't know. It was a lot. But I wasn't able to get Twice tickets, and then a similar thing happened later when Otto was touring the United States. Otto is one of my Twice is K-pop, and then Otto is like a popular J-pop singer. And she was touring the States. And I honestly didn't think she ever would tour the States because she is a faceless musician. Otto's pretty neat. Because I think if you're not familiar with Otto, she started her career when she was still like a teenager and when she was still like a high schooler. And so she was like, I want to be anonymous because I'm still like a child and I want to live a life. But even as she's gotten older, she still maintains her anonymity, which I respect a lot. I think that's really cool. But Otto still does like concerts, and the way Otto does concerts is that she is on stage, but she is entirely backlit. There's no lights on her. Like just from like a lighting perspective, just from like a stage lighting perspective, because I used to do AV when I was in high school. I did audiovisual. I was like part of the crew for like school productions and whatnot, and so I still have kind of a love for these kind of things. I still have like a love for these kind of things, and so the like whole way that her concert is set up like is so fascinating, because there's like a band, and the band is like lit normally, but Otto herself is completely backlit, not a single light on her, so you only see her as a silhouette, which I think is so cool. That she's just there and she's performing, but it's like all you see is the silhouette. And part of how they make it work is that like in Japan, it's a lot more normal for concerts to like not have phones allowed. Like most concerts are professionally taped and then sold as like part of the merch. You can buy the recording of the concert or even like streamed. Like streaming tickets are like a thing, at least for like YouTubers and I think for some idols and whatnot. It's like streaming is also like part of their revenue is streaming the concert. So obviously they are very strict about like people who are recording it themselves. And so it's like a little crazy. I want to say this goes. And so part of the way like Otto can maintain her anonymity is the fact that like her concerts in Japan, like no one has it's not like anyone can whip out their iPhone 17 and like zoom it enhance, because that's bad and they'll get kicked out. But it's also like I also like that it's a good bit of just like honor system that like no one, even if you do, I think because of how her concert is set up that like she's far enough and the lighting is intense enough that like even if you are like a front row seat, I don't think you're gonna see her. But I don't know like what iPhone technology is up to these days. Maybe with your like iPhone 57 you can like zoom and enhance and see her face, but like I don't know, man, people don't do that because that's messed up, and it's a violation of her privacy. And yeah, but because of that, I honestly didn't think that she would ever tour in the States. I was like, I don't know if she'll be able to do that at like American concerts. But I guess she does. She figured out a way for her to maintain her anonymity, even at like American concerts. Because honestly, I guess I'm not that surprised. Like I mentioned this last week, but I was at the Hololive concert, and they also had a zero phones policy. Like I've been to a couple of idol concerts. Like I've been to smaller ones. I think I went to I think Queen Bee too when I was at when I went to go see Queen Bee also had a similar policy of no phones. Had a no phones policy. And they're just like a regular band. Just like a regular like J-rock band. But the concert was still like no phones because they're recording it. So don't do that. And so I don't know. I think it's enforceable because usually they just have like security patrolling, and if they see you with your phone out, they'll get you. They'll get you. And usually people are like pretty good about it because they're like, you go in there knowing that that's like a thing. You know, if you're into this kind of scene and into this music enough to like want to go to a concert for one of these artists, like you know that it's normal for there to be a no phones policy. So I feel like I've never seen anyone like blatantly disrespecting it. So I guess like yeah, it makes sense. But anyway, like I desperately wanted to go see Otto. I desperately wanted to see Otto because I love She's like one of my favorite like Jason, like modern singers, like modern pop singers, because she is so amazing and so talented. And I love her music, but I didn't I didn't win. The other rough thing is that they like put her in such a small venue, I feel like, for how popular she is, because she is like one of the biggest like J-pop singers. Like she's one of, and I can kind of see how they're like, well, they want to they're not like, this is her first tour in the United States, so I can kind of see like the logic behind underselling it and not pushing for like a bigger venue, because it's not like she's, you know, like she's never toured in the States. They don't exactly know what kind of, like, they know what numbers she pulls in Japan, and she can sell out like she can sell out like Japanese stadiums, but they don't know if she could sell out American stadiums. But honestly, I think she could. I think honestly they could have put her in Madison Square Garden and still like filled it, you know? But I kind of understand they didn't want to take their chances and they were being like very cautious about it. But I'm mad about it because I wanted to go see Ado and I didn't get to, because they decided to have a venue that only seats like a couple thousand people for like McFreaking Ado, which I think, honestly, I think she could have sold Madison Square Garden. But they didn't push for that because Madison Square Garden is like a huge investment. So like I understand why they didn't for her first tour, but I just have to hope that she comes back because her tour sold like really well. It sold, every single location sold out in like minutes. Like I tried so hard to get those tickets, but I didn't get it. And honestly, like a bunch of my friends that wanted to go too, like only some of them got tickets. And it's just rough. It's rough out here. And anyway, Kodansha is hosting these signing events, but they're like that. I'm pretty sure they're not like random lotto. It's like you have to just like register in time. So it's like concert tickets where you just, once it opens, you just have to get in there and sign up and get your tickets in time. And if you don't, like, die. And so I wanted to like gatekeep this a little bit because I don't want any more competition. Okay, you have to go be an adult. Good luck. Have fun. Thank you for tuning in. Good luck with being an adult. It's rough out there. But yeah, I wanted to like gatekeep this a little bit, but I ended up talking about it because I'm like so excited. But also, I'm like, I don't want any more competition that I'm already going to have for Kamame Shirahama. I like desperately want to like beat her and get like get her autograph, because she is like one of my, like, she's a genius. Like Witch Hat Atelier is one of my favorite manga of all time. Gaslight Gatekeep Girl Boss, yeah. I have to gaslight Gatekeep. Actually, it's not happening. This whole time I've been lying to you. Everything I've said is a lie. There's actually no signing event happening. Don't look into it. Yeah. I like don't want more competition than I already have. Because I already know it's going to be, it's not even like it's a multi-day thing. It's like she will be here for one day. And on top of that, the place that they're hosting it is not very big. Like, I don't think that hall can fit more than like 50 to 75 people. And this is in New York City for everyone that may want to go meet Kamame Shirahama. And I'm like, I'm in the trenches. I know I have terrible luck with setups like this. Especially since it's like on a weekday in the middle of the day. So I'm literally going to take my laptop to work with me. So I can sit there and I can register. Like, I'm going to get it. I will like stake my life on this. I'll sell my kidneys. I do not care. I need to get into the Shirahama signing. Please. Please. I need. But, yeah. I just have to hope. I just have to hope. And I have terrible, but even though I have terrible luck with events like this, I am going to try my best, nonetheless. I'm going to try. But I don't have that much. But I do, actually. But anyway, Witch Hat Atelier is very, very good. It's one of those series, like, I was reading it and I, like, realized, like, I forgot that, like, a main theme of Witch Hat Atelier and I feel like one of the intentions behind it is, like, rediscovering, like, the magic and the whimsy in, like, what is taken for granted. Because the whole concept of it is, like, it's like a running thing. Where it's like, these are witches. This is a world full of magic. And Coco is not, well, she didn't grow up like this. She is very, like, new to the whole concept of, like, how magic works and learning about it. And so she's, like, very passionate and she's so fascinated by everything because she's never experienced this in her life. But meanwhile, everyone else is like, oh, you know, that's just the magic portal that we use from time to time. And she's like, what do you mean it's just the magic portal that you use from time to time? It's literally a magic portal. What do you mean you're not freaking out? And it's, like, really sweet. And it's, like, so cool. And, like, a big chunk of it is, like, also the other characters are learning to see things from, like, Coco's perspective. And how, like, beautiful and how amazing some of these things are, and how, like, you can approach things in a different way when it's, like, still so novel to you. How, like, you'll miss certain things because you're so used to it. And it's such a, like, good series. It's such a good series. Makes me feel so nice. Just, I love Witch Hat Atelier. If you've never read it, again, the other thing about Witch Hat Atelier is that the art insane. The art quality, like, Shirahama's art quality is insane. Because Witch Hat Atelier is published in a monthly, I want to say. It's either monthly or, like, bi-monthly, as in, like, every 2 months. But I'm pretty sure Witch Hat is published in a monthly magazine. I'm gonna, like, fact check this. I'm pretty sure it's a monthly magazine, though. Witch Hat Atelier. It's published in yeah. Yeah, it's monthly. She's on, so Witch Hat Atelier, well, okay. This is, like, a gripe of mine, where people assume that weekly manga is normal when it's not. Like, I understand this, like, there are still weekly magazines. Like, the reason why people think that is because of Weekly Shonen Jump. Like, a lot of shonen magazines, at least the big ones, like Shonen Jump, are still on weekly models. Weekly Shonen Jump, and I think, like, Jump Plus, which is, like, the online only imprint that they have, are all weekly. Not just Shonen Jump, but also, like, honestly, like, Shonen Hero. Like, there's a couple of, like, big shonen magazines that are on the weekly model because they always have been. And it's like it's so unbelievably cruel to authors to be on the weekly model because it's one chapter. You have to have one chapter, a whole chapter of manga every week, which is insane. Which is, like, an insane amount of work. And it's like, again, I don't think there's been, like, a professional study done about it, but it's one of those things where it's like, you know, fun fact, the average lifespan of a mangaka is shorter than the, like, average Japanese lifespan, which is, like, insane. Which is, like, actually insane. And how it's like, you know, not that uncommon for mangaka to like just like either take extended breaks or have health problems or like have stress related health problems or even like die early, die younger because of like health problems stemmed from overwork. Like it is even just like just in general, being a manga is not easy and it's a very difficult job, but like especially to authors that have to live with like weekly manga, I like can't imagine it. I cannot imagine like having that. But like, and thus because of that, most other manga magazines are not weekly, because the other thing is that it's expensive to print weekly. It's just expensive to print weekly. And one of the only magazines that can still keep up with it is like Shonen Jump and those bigger shonen magazines, because they still have the pull to like sell weekly, because it's like expensive for the company to like print weekly. And so just most manga these days like is monthly. Okay, you gotta, thanks for tuning in. I hope you have a good time. Have a good rest of your day. Yeah, let's do that. That would be nice. Yeah. This goes here. Where does this thing even... Oh wait, I need to know. That's fine. But yeah, it's a lot more normal for manga to be like monthly. Even like shoujo, the bigger like shoujo magazines, like, because shonen is like a younger boys demographic. Even if you look at like shoujo, which is meant for like younger girls, the average shoujo magazine is like on a 2-week publication basis, which is still like not great, but it's double the amount of time that a lot of Shonen Jump gets. Not a lot of shonen, because the thing is, I also feel bad about like categorizing shonen in general like this, which is not like true. It's literally like 2 or 3 magazines that are weekly. Even there's still a bunch of shonen magazines out there that are on like monthly release schedules or even 2-week release schedules. It's literally just like 2 or 3 magazines that perpetuate the weekly thing. It's not really all that common anymore. Like most magazines are on like monthly models, which makes a lot more sense, because the other thing is that like it doesn't like put authors under insane amounts of pressure, and it also gives them time to like actually think about their stories. Like, surprise, oh my god, I remember like when Dungeon Meshi was getting really popular, people were like kind of losing their minds a little bit, because it's like, oh my god, like a well-crafted story, who could, like, how can they do that? And and they're like, oh my god, it's because Dungeon Meshi is released monthly and not weekly. And it's like, yeah, I was gonna say a swear word, but I can't say that. But it's like, yeah, no crap. That does sound terrible. Like, yeah, no wonder. Yeah, no wonder that it's like that. But it's also like treating Dungeon Meshi like it's an anomaly is so weird to me, because Dungeon Meshi is a seinen. It's published in a seinen magazine, and it's published in Harta, which is a popular seinen magazine. And they release monthly. They're a monthly manga. Actually, they might be 2 months? No, I feel like they're monthly. I feel like Harta is monthly. Because Harta is pretty big. But it's like kind of crazy. It's like kind of crazy that it's like people out there like don't realize that it's literally like 2 or 3 magazines total that are responsible for like perpetuating weekly manga, and they just happen to be like the biggest magazines, which kind of sucks. But it's like really not normal for weekly manga releases. And like part of why Witch Hat Atelier is as good as it is that it's also in a manga that has it's 1 chapter per month, so it's still very difficult. But like Shirahama Kamome has this very like beautiful, intricate art style, like extremely detailed, does extremely detailed art, and it's because she has time to. It's because she has time to. But also, like, it's not like that's an anomaly, you know? Like, I don't know, it's so crazy to me that, like, yeah, there's still people out there that think that, like, it's normal for magazines to publish weekly when it's most definitely not. And all it does is damage, like, the quality. And honestly, I'm also just like a shonen hater. That's also just me and who I am and being true to myself. I'm just a shonen hater, but I think, like, being on weekly releases drops the quality in art, drops the quality in story. Like, it focuses more on just producing over producing something good. I feel like ends up being a lot more of a quantity over quality game, because now you have to release a chapter every week and you just don't have time to breathe and think about what you're writing and, like, where you want to go with it. And of course there are exceptions, like, I'm not saying that this is every single one, but it is a lot of them. Like, not everyone is Eiichiro Oda, who, like, has thought about his story for decades, who's been cooking his story for, like, his entire life. But most of them are not Oda. Most of them are not people who've been cooking their stories for their entire life, so, like, they still have an idea of where they're going with it. Like, I'm just such a shonen hater. It's rough. It's rough living the life of a shonen hater. No one understands me. No one understands me. And I die. Just die. This is supposed to, like, that's kind of funky that this is supposed to, like, get in here and, like, slide downward. It's like, I'm, like, afraid of breaking this. I don't want to break this. I don't want to break it. But it's supposed to, like, slide. Which way does this even go? Down? I'm assuming it's that way. Wait. Oh, no, this has to be facing. This has to be facing up. Spot. And this just slides in here. And I think that's it. I think that's the it. Kind of, like, locks that piece in there. Okay. This is funky. I don't think I've ever seen, like, a mechanic like this before. A gunpla. I love gunpla. What? I don't want... I'm, like, all paranoid of the little, like, hip pieces falling off, because they will fall off. They fall off all the time, and it's so frustrating. So frustrating. So these guys have been holding on pretty well. That one, like, I pulled this piece off on purpose because I wanted to look at it different. I wanted to, like, put it differently. But this time was like, but it's not like, there have definitely been kits that I've built where I, like, touch it and the waist piece just, like, falls off. And I'm like, ugh, why? Why are you like this? Like, okay. I am a big unicorn fan. It's my favorite mobile suit. But when I was building, even now, RG Unicorn is still like this. If I touch it wrong, like, the waist bits just fly off, and I feel like I'm dying. Please. I don't want to die. But this guy has been holding on pretty good. Like, the one that, like, came off is because I was trying to pry it off. But it's because otherwise, like, I remember I was having, like, with, like, RG Unicorn, and same thing with Banshee Norn. They're, like, basically the same kit. I was, like, so insanely frustrated. I was, like, so insanely frustrated. Because it just, like, kept falling off. And it just, like, would not cooperate with me. And I was dying. So this bit did just fall off. And now I'm a little sad. I just mentioned that it's good. but it's because it's like it's the funky one. I'll forgive it. It's a little extra piece. Okay. Okay. Look, he has a waist. Okay. Also, I'm tired. I think I've reached the end of my rope. I think I've reached the end of my rope. I think it's a good time to call it for today. I think that's it for me today. I wanted to call it a little early to begin with. I'm tired. I have to go to the bathroom. You know? And I have things that I have to socialize more today. Like, ooh. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'll live. Don't worry. But yeah. I'll see you all next week. Hopefully finish God Gundam. Very much looking forward to it. Here's his other assorted bits. Right now he's starting to look like God Gundam. His bits are starting to look like God Gundam. Very happy, very excited. And yeah, I think that's it for today. I shall see you all next week, as always. What things am I supposed to plug this week? Oh, Girl by Moonlight, the TTRPG campaign that is on Mondays on this very channel, hosted by Val. It's like, if you're into mecha, it's like Magical Girl. It's hosting the game Girl by Moonlight, which is like magical girls, but also there's robots, and it's pretty neat. I love Girl by Moonlight. I think their final session is next week. But if you're interested, all of the VODs are on this channel, and they're all really cool. Yeah. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. I will try and be better about, like, using the notification system and, like, using the scheduling system, but that's what we'll be doing. And, yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekends. Bye-bye!